Going back out to Hurricane Melissa continues its destructive path across the Caribbean. It made a secondary landfall after its first landfall as a Category 5 storm yesterday in Jamaica. Then this morning, that second landfall in Cuba happening at 3:10 a.m. Eastern time as a Category 3. So weakening there, but still a major hurricane. After it moves past Cuba and the Bahamas, models suggest that it will continue to move northeast, passing over or near to the west of Bermuda tomorrow. We've got a hurricane watch that was issued for Bermuda last night. Conditions around the island are expected to rapidly deteriorate late Thursday into Friday, with the potential for hazardous surf and strong rip currents. Now, it's still too early to determine what the exact impacts on Bermuda will be, but it's clear that the time to prepare is now. So we've got Craig Smith, tour guide and entrepreneur for Bermuda Food Tours, who joins us now. Craig, I was just in Bermuda for Hurricane Imelda and Humberto, with the island preparing, and you guys have it down to a science, I feel like, at this point, especially after this hurricane season. Is it now just a copy and paste, or are you making any edits to how you prep based upon this particular forecast?
Yeah, good morning, Haley, and thank you for having me. Obviously, thoughts out to the southern islands, which got impacted by the islands as well. But yeah, no, we're keeping an eye on, obviously, the current hurricane coming in. We're looking at it coming around 9 p.m. Thursday night, being about 90 miles offshore right now, but anything can change, as we know with hurricanes, as you know as well. So we're looking at preparing, as we need to. We'll certainly be battening down, closing our shutters, probably protecting any low hanging areas, and just making sure that, we've got stuff for power going out. We are pretty, when winds come through, our power lines do kind of cut short our electricity. So we prepare for that, but we're not looking at it being a major hit. It has downgraded quite a bit, as you said, thankfully. And it's looking at being Cat 1 about 9 p.m. Thursday night, being the closest point to Bermuda.
With Bermuda being such a hub for tourism, in the month of October, tourism starts to die down. It's not necessarily peak season for tourism, but how do storms like this influence the people that are coming into the island? Do you see a sharp decrease, or do you think that folks still, they trust Bermuda and the infrastructure, and they'll still follow through with their travel plans?
Sure. Yes, we are kind of coming out of our high season, but we're still quite busy. We actually have a major rugby tournament on Saturday, where we'll be having about 6 or 7 different nations coming to the island playing rugby. The tournament's looking at starting on Saturday, with all the plans heading towards that. So, certainly in regards to activities, they're still going to happen. Bermuda, we react very quickly to the hurricanes. And normally it's about 24, 48 hours before, once a hurricane passes by us, that we're ready to go again. The planes, a lot is dictated by how the planes react, what flights are canceled or rearranged. So that kind of dictates a lot with how the visitors get to the island. We are still busy, though. We've got a lot of hotels right now that have people in them for this rugby tournament and for a bunch of other activities that are happening on the island. So they might just have a little hiccup in their plans, but they can kind of put it on their checklist that they went through a storm in Bermuda. We're not looking at it being terribly strong, though, with it being about 90 miles away.
Right. I mean, one thing that really struck me when I was in Bermuda was the resiliency, the ethos, the spirit of folks that live there. What's been the vibe just emotionally, considering the fact that you guys have been under a cone of uncertainty with almost every single storm this season with the way that they've turned north? Is there some hurricane fatigue ongoing? You can only imagine, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, we're always ready. This is our fourth kind of threat in the last 2 months. So we just go into our emergency measures organization. So it's normally 3 days beforehand, 3 or 4, depending on the threat of the hurricane, and kind of dictate a lot as to what they expect. Obviously, keeping a high eye on things to see how it may change. But we're staying cautious right now. Cautiously optimistic that it stays its course and even veers a little bit further away. But no, I don't think fatigue's a major part of it, because we know that, no matter what, we have to prepare for it. It can be life or death, as we've seen in the Southern Islands, unfortunately. So, we want to make sure that doesn't happen here, regardless of how bad it is.
Right. Well, Bermuda, I have to say, when I was there covering a hurricane, I've never felt safer doing severe weather coverage. And so that just speaks to the people and the infrastructure that you guys have. Craig Smith, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Be sure to stay safe out there.
Thank you, Haley, and you as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.